I can feel it. Any day, VISEART is going to launch their Black Friday sale, and I want you to be ready when that happens. So today, I am going to give you the lowdown on the 10 VISEART palettes that I own so that you can decide if you want to add any of these to your collection at what could be 20, 30, 40% off when the sale launches. So today I am going to take you through each of these palettes ranked from number 10 to number 1. First, I'm going to tell you what went into how I decided upon this ranking. Normally, performance is one of my main considerations. That's things like blendability, longevity. With VISEART, we don't even really have to talk about that. You can be certain that all of these palettes that I'm going to talk to you about today perform beautifully. VISEART is known for their performance, so we are good to go there. Obviously, price is another important consideration. Look, even without a sale, VISEART palettes are incredibly well priced. Every palette that I am going to talk to you about today is either $44 or $40. So that is phenomenal. So let's just take price off the table. So the next criteria is versatility. And obviously this sort of ties into the value aspect, because I want to know whenever I buy an eyeshadow palette that I am going to be able to get a lot of different looks out of it. I mean, it is not going to be a one-trick pony. It is not going to be a palette where no matter which shades I use, all of the looks kind of come out the same. And then also level of excitement. Do I reach for it because it's fun to use? Do I feel inspired by the color story? But the other side of that coin is wearability. We don't always want to have to think hard about what kind of look we're going to put together, right? We just want to know some days that we can pull out a palette, pick a couple of shades that we know are going to go well together. It's going to be easy to pull that look together. And now just a note before we get into the meat of the ranking, I have done in-depth reviews of many of these palettes, and I have a VISEART playlist. So I am going to link that playlist below in case you want to check out any of those reviews that also have me building eye looks, so you can use those as tutorials. And now let's get into the ranking, starting off with number 10, which is the only palette on this list that I cannot recommend to you wholeheartedly. That palette is the Paris Edit. These shades are beautiful, but there's something about this color story that doesn't feel intuitive to me. I definitely have to think a little bit more about putting shades together. It does have a good mix of shimmers and mattes. That is what some of those shimmers look like. The shades are beautiful. It's the color story. The color story just it just doesn't do it for me, and it doesn't feel intuitive. So this is number 10. Moving on to number 9, I have the Petite Mattes Cool Palette. You've got a great mix of purple tones. You've got your blue and your gray. You've got more sort of your pinks and these browns. It is a really good range of cool mattes. I think that the matte palettes from VISEART are a phenomenal buy. So Petite Mattes Cool coming in at number 9, only because it's less versatile than some of the other palettes in this ranking. And along those lines, at number 8, I have the Petite Mattes Neutral Palette. So again, you've got a great range of what they're calling neutral mattes. I do think there are some warmer shades in here, but honestly, for me, that only makes this palette even better. This palette is the one that I recommended when I first saw Natasha Denona come out with the mini sculpt palette. I think this is even a great buy upside the larger texture and tone palettes that she recently released. And again, the Petite Matte palettes are the ones that are only $40. So a great value. Again, ranking lower only because of the versatility factor. I've got to look at my list. I'm losing track of what number I'm on. Okay, Number 7 is one of their newer releases. This is the Midsummer Lumiere Étendu. Very beautiful. You can see the shimmers glistening as I move the palette around. You've got a fairly nice range of mattes here. They are all mid-toned. You've got maybe one deep shade here. Nothing terribly light. I don't think that this palette has the versatility. Some of these shades are really close together in terms of the depth of them. Let me swatch a couple of these shimmers. It's funny, even though I feel like VISEART is really known for their mattes, notice I'm always like, let's swatch the shimmers. There are some of those shimmers there, so you can see that at least one of these is actually a duochrome. Really beautiful shades. They perform really well, but I think that the versatility is not as strong here on this palette. Not for my liking. Next up, we have coming in at number 6, the Paris Mattes Étendu. For me to have an all matte palette ranking higher than a palette that has some different textures and finishes, I think really says a lot. But look, this is definitely a preference thing, okay? Because you may not be into this color story at all. You've got a full range here in terms of depth. If you like purple tones and rosier tones, you're gonna find this to be just really, really beautiful on the eyes. This is such a spectacular palette, I think. And this is one that I sometimes will wear just as an all matte look. Also looks gorgeous with a little pop of shimmer right on the center of the lid or even in the inner corner, so you can go that route. I'm trying to like swatch a range for you here and not just go for every purple or pink. I love this lilac shade here. I think that is just so beautiful. Coming in at number 5. Okay, I can't just go straight into number 5 because I struggle with number 5 and number 4. I actually went back and forth a bit on which should be number 5 and which should be number 4. But if I had to make a call right now, then number 5 would be the Kashmir Charmuse Étendu palette. We've got a couple of different duochromes. We've got a nice range of mattes. And look, for me, I don't know why, I've got a thing for this kind of shade. This shade that has sort of this blue to it with either a red or a brown base. I'm just a sucker for that, guys. It's where my eye immediately goes when I look at this palette, but that is not the only shade that you can use for the center of your lid. You've also got this shade here, which is also a duochrome. Hold on, let me see if I can get it to flip on camera. You can see that it's flipping from like a pink to a sort of golden green. Here, let's try it on the hand because that's going to be better. But there you can see both of those swatched out. You've got some sort of more special shimmery shades here, but then you've also got a range of shimmers that are just practical if you don't feel like having something that distinctive on your eyes when you're rolling up to your corporate job or you want a daytime look. Lots of different looks can be created with this palette, and it does have some of my favorite type of duochrome shifts. Now, let's talk about number 4 on this list. These two might have even been released at the same time. This is the Violette Vesperine Étendu palette. And if you have been watching me for a while, you know that I am a sucker for a purple eyeshadow. So of course, this is on the list. And again, you've got a great range here in terms of depth. You have some more sort of special shimmers and some more sort of basic shimmers. So let's swatch some of those. Let's do this one here and this one here. That is what those two look like. So here are those two from the Violette Vesperine. And then I'm like, wait, what did I swatch? I can't remember what I swatched. We'll just swatch some more. Okay. I may have doubled up there, but nice range of shimmers there. So you have more of a traditional purple shimmer, but this one has a little bit of a burgundy to it. And then these two shimmers here, one of them leans a little more pink while the other one leans silver. Great mattes for building out your transition. We've got everything from this lightest matte here to the deepest. So there you go. Full range of matte shadows that pair beautifully with these shimmers. What are we down to, guys? We are down to our top 3. We are running through this fast. I hope that you appreciate that and you're not like, we want more deets. Again, if you want to see more of these palettes sort of in action and even fully swatched out on my arm, check out that VISEART playlist because you will see those things there. Number 3 on my list is one of their newest releases. This is the Paris Nuit Étoilée Étendu palette, and this has some of the more sort of special packaging in terms of the outside because it does have that beautiful little nighttime starry motif even on the outer edge and across the back of the palette. Here is the color story here. I mean, that is just dark and moody in all the best ways. And of course, it has those purple shades that I absolutely love. This blue that I want to be my best friend on the planet. Let me swatch some of these shimmers for you so that you can see how you might use these in the center of the lid, or more sort of maybe you use one of the really deep mattes in the outer corner and then it fades into one of these shimmers. This one here is this really beautiful deep silver. And now let me swatch these deep dark mattes for you. Clearly you've got some great midtones in here, but to me, these dark mattes for this palette, it's where it's at. There are the 3 really deep mattes in this palette. Really, really, really gorgeous. You could use these in the outer corner. You could create really beautiful liner looks with these and then just some shimmer across the lid. Lots of versatility here. I think the excitement factor is here. In terms of the wearability, I mean, this is probably more of a nighttime palette, although you could just go with one of these lighter mattes and this shimmer or this shimmer to build out a beautiful daytime look. Love this newer release. At number 2, we have the Sireneuse Étendu palette. This is beloved by many. This is actually the palette that I am wearing on my eyes today. I will just show you what I have going on here. I love this look in particular. To build this look out, what I did is I started off with this shade as the transition, and then I deepened it further with this shade, and then I deepened right in the outer corner closer to the lash line with this shade and then this shade. I used a ton of shades from this palette for today's look. And then really across the lid, I did this shade here, which has this sort of gold and green flip to it. This one, it's not swatching that great. I feel like on camera it doesn't do it justice. There are those 2, what I'm gonna call special shades. Something else that I love about this palette is that these deepest shades here are not really traditional mattes. I think these are so cool. This is something that really makes this palette in particular special in my book. You can definitely use this as a matte in the outer corner, but they're more of sort of a satin and have sort of this sparkle to them. I love to use one of these in the outer corner and then put one of the duochromes over that. That's really kind of what I did here, where I tapped our little duochrome here over this brown, and then I went back in with this black and intensified along the lash line. So I wanted to intensify that duochrome a little bit more. I took a synthetic haired brush and I picked up a little bit of setting spray and then dabbed into this shade to pick up a little bit more. And then I just intensified that a bit, just right up the center of my lid here. That is how I built the look that I am wearing today. And that just leaves one more palette, guys, just one more. And if you've been watching me, you probably knew before you even hit play on this video what was going to be number one. I'm sorry, I know I have raved and raved and raved about this palette, but guys, Lila Lumiere Étendu, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, one of the things that I love about this palette is that you have both a gold and a silver shimmer. You've got this gold shimmer here as well as this silver. You've got this beautiful sort of taupey shimmer as well as a pink shimmer. This is two palettes in one. If that isn't versatility and value, I don't know what is. The looks that this creates are so beautiful, so wearable. You know, you've got 5 minutes, you need to put a look together. Guys, it is so easy to just pull this out, throw on a couple of shades, and you are going to have a beautiful pulled together eyeshadow look. I guarantee it. This palette is phenomenal. This is my number one VISEART palette right now. Lila Lumiere may have some competition because VISEART just launched 2 more palettes. I have purchased them both and I am stalking the tracking page, waiting for them to arrive. I think I will get them the day before Thanksgiving, which means I may spend some of Thanksgiving morning filming a video featuring those 2 palettes so that I can share those with you as well. So we may not have heard the final word on this VISEART ranking for the year or for my overall eyeshadow palette ranking. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. I hope that you have found it helpful. If you are interested in VISEART and you are trying to decide if you want to pick up any of these palettes when the Black Friday sale starts, I will do a post when I see the sale launch to sort of alert you that the time has come. I hope that if you enjoyed this video, you will give it a big thumbs up and that you'll subscribe if you are not subscribed, because we have a lot more fun eyeshadow to come along with other great makeup. I have already shopped the Chantecaille Black Friday sale and the RMS Black Friday sale, 2 brands that I have never tried before. So those reviews are coming. All right. Thank you again for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.